We discussed about the 7 sub-skills of engagement, which were connection, career, clarity, communicate, contribution, collaboration, and confidence. A certain level of self-analysis is required to figure out these skills and the extent to which these skills are to be applied. Could you tell us something about self-analysis?
Any sort of self-analysis includes many aspects to be considered and applied to examine one's potential. Once you are aware of your skills and traits, they become your strengths and assets that can engage you as an individual and help you succeed in life. If you want to be an influential personality, you need to connect with yourself first. And there lies the importance of self-analysis.
Besides understanding our skills, how is self-analysis helpful to us on an individual level?
First of all, it strengthens your imagination. After self-analysis, you tend to form a clear vision about yourself that ultimately helps you to grow and develop as a successful individual. It boosts your confidence. Undoubtedly, self-analysis boosts confidence through self-improvement as we get to know ourselves better. We get acquainted with all our strengths and weaknesses and then try to make efforts to improve our skills. It allows you to clear out mental cobwebs. Many individuals always stay confused about their skills and shortcomings. In such cases, it is important for people to understand the significance of self-evaluation. That is how you will be able to think more clearly about what suits you best. There is a significant role of self-appraisal in life as it helps you to become a better friend to yourself as you get to know yourself better. You find the solutions to the questions that you have not posed to yourself ever.
The importance of self-analysis is well established. But the question that now arises is, how can we go about it? How do we start, and what do we do exactly?
To practice self-analysis, you can perform a personal SWOT analysis. SWOT stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. The first thing you should do is know your strengths. Knowing your strengths will help you with being more sure about yourself. There are several questions you can pose to yourself when filling this part. What are the master skills you have? It can be organizational or personal life skills. Could your abilities in some areas have any sort of impact? Setting goals might be helpful in improving focus and work performance, and as a result, you feel satisfaction and pride in your work. What are the skills that make you stand apart from others? Your excellent communication skills can help make your meetings more effective, and people eventually listen carefully and value your opinions. The next step is to recognize your shortcomings. Analyzing your weaknesses is the best approach to improve. Ask yourself if you have the key capacities to be productive in your present or future positions. Do you have the right set of skills required at the workplace to accomplish any projects? Do you have any bad habits that may influence your performance at work? For example, frequently taking leaves from work, or using social media while at work. What is the opinion of others about your weaknesses? If you are not able to acknowledge your shortcomings, you could ask a close friend, a colleague, or family members about their opinions on this matter. Be clear and straightforward when responding to these inquiries. In light of everything, it is a self-assessment, which you can use as a venturing stone for your future upgrades. Next, find opportunities that match your skills. Opportunities come in many forms, but you need to figure out what suits you best. So, a few things to be watchful for includes: is there any other position vacant in your organization that matches your capabilities? For instance, you might be currently working with the research department, however, your interest aligns with the accounts department. So, try to keep a check on the available job openings from time to time so as to grab the opportunity. Is there another role or project you can join which will benefit your job? For example, if you are not able to achieve progress with your current role in the client management department, and there is a project opening within the research department which can help you build up your abilities to deal better in your current role, then do not wait, just go ahead. Could recognizing new abilities give you an upper hand? Suppose you have never realized your good communication skills until now, after giving your very first presentation at office. Now you may feel more confident than before, which will help you build up a good reputation at the firm. As you can see, the rundown of inquiries can go endlessly. It is superb if an open door facilitates your abilities that brings you closer to your goals. Finally, identify potential threats. While doing this individual SWOT assessment, you need to consider and study yourself against others. Along these lines, it makes things simple to recognize the perils. So, here is how you can consider the same. Ask yourself questions like, is the arrival of new technologies, or end of old innovations sabotaging your career? For example, does the introduction of advanced tablets, instead of paper documentation to submit projects and daily reports, create routine problems? Are some of your traits negatively affecting your career? Does your cold attitude or silent nature make you less approachable within the organization? What are the hindrances that keep you away from achieving your targets? For this, you need to recognize whether it is the lack of any required skill, or any of your behavioral aspects that is becoming an obstacle in your success pathway. Recognize and distinguish the dangers, and attempt to discard the ones you can.
Is it true that self-analysis can be helpful in developing ourselves as individuals and perhaps being more successful in our professional roles?
Yes, I believe that self-analysis can go a long way towards helping an individual develop and become more successful.
So, Professor, this course revolves around engagement. Like any other skill, there are several myths that surround engagement. What are some of the myths you've heard?
One of the most commonly heard myths is that high performers are highly engaged. Excellent job performance can be an indicator of engagement, but the two concepts are not the same. You can be a great worker and really satisfied, but disengaged at the same time. If such combinations exist, then this is a big hindrance to your growth, both personal and professional. So how do you know if you are a high performer and are highly engaged? Examine whether you are producing high-quality work only within a defined job role, or are you reaching out beyond that role? Do you strive to improve your team, or even the entire company? If so, you are definitely highly engaged, and the strong emotional connect and commitment will keep you going in the right direction. It is said leaders are inherently engaged. Engagement levels also fluctuate over time, so there is a possibility that once highly engaged leaders no longer feel the same connection they once did. They are the ones who are more likely to hear problems and deficiencies than to hear positive news or receive praise. It is uncommon for employees to thank their boss for doing a great job with corrective action, or intervening in something so as to help him out. Since engagement is a two-way street, one way is to give your individual contribution by recognizing why leaders do what they do. Using phrases like, "Great work, boss," can often motivate your leaders and mentors. You can commend them on offering guidance in difficult situations, asking questions that reframe problems, and regularly reminding everyone how their work contributes to the organization's greater purpose.
If I may add, I have heard that employee recognition is not correlated with employee engagement. Like we talked about before, people believe that if they are getting the work done on time, they don't need to be too engaged.
All human beings want, and need, is to be appreciated for their hard work or extra effort. Recognition is one of the most ignored aspects of employee engagement, and has a direct correlation with motivation at work. If you successfully finish a difficult task, say a special project, be sure to take credit when it is being doled out to you, with pointing out the contributions of others. Try to keep your boss in the loop to get rewards and recognition at work. Things as simple as greeting people you pass in the hallways, taking part in group events, office celebrations, and speaking up in meetings, are all effective ways of making a name for yourself. Consider this golden rule. Recognize others as you would like to be recognized yourself. Thanking others for their hard work and ensuring that they earn the rewards and recognition they deserve is simply a nice thing to do, as it helps you build good relationships with your colleagues. It is widely believed that people will be more motivated to work harder if they know they will get a bonus or a raise for better results. But are people really motivated by introducing all these extra rewards? According to research by Hertzberg, motivation does not come from extrinsic incentives such as a pay raise or a bonus. These incentives will stimulate you to work harder for a short period of time, but then you will need the prospect of the next raise or promotion to continue making an extra effort. Increase in individual sense of responsibility, taking on new or more difficult tasks and challenges, and possibilities for achievement, can increase motivation over the long term.
I have heard that the more often you sit with your supervisor to talk about your performance, the more likely you are to be engaged and improve your performance.
According to research, there is no significant relationship between the frequency of performance talks and employee engagement. But there does exist a significant positive relationship between the duration of those meetings and the engagement. Thus, the more time you spend on formal performance talks than frequency of those meetings, the higher the engagement will be. Discuss which skills or strengths could be developed to successfully achieve objectives, to progress towards career development, or to help the team perform more effectively. If you have any issues or concerns, now is the perfect time to raise them, as you have the manager's attention and can easily arrive at a solution. Take the opportunity to try to discuss priorities for the coming weeks, so as to have a better plan of action.
I have also heard that having a good team spirit is a good predictor of engagement. Is this statement true?
Team spirit is an important characteristic of teams with engaged team members, as they are more motivated to contribute to the team's result. Based on research, a clear goal orientation is more related to employee engagement than good team spirit. So, teams with well-defined goals will perform better than those without such goals, as it helps the members form a common identity and enhances the team's commitment to achieving targets. Before communicating with the team, think about the purpose of setting goals and what you hope to achieve with them. Try to set up deadlines, as without them, goals could end up being pushed back and never achieved. If people start feeling that the goals are not taken seriously, they will become discouraged and eventually disengaged. Nevertheless, good team spirit will certainly never harm employee engagement, so this dimension should still be nourished.
So based on this conversation, we see that team spirit, talking to managers, rise in incentives aren't clear indicators of engagement. These commonly held beliefs are hard to let go of, but with your help, it is quite clear. With all this discussion about engagement, communication, connection, comprehension, confidence and so much more, I have a question for you which may seem a little abrupt, but it has been running through my mind for a while now. I have been wondering what exactly makes us more employable. We can develop all the skills and sub-skills while working as well, but what can we do before that?
With more and more people graduating each year, the job market has become extremely competitive. A university course will help you develop some of the employability skills, but you definitely need more than a degree certificate to get a graduate-level job. Along with your qualifications, companies also want to make sure you have the right employability skills to be able to do the job, such as good communication skills, teamwork and problem-solving abilities. Factors like positive attitude, enthusiasm and adaptability are also important, as you have to learn a lot when you start your first graduate job. To make yourself more employable, and to stand out from the crowd, ask for professional advice. It can help you choose a suitable career, and influence what employers are looking for in a new recruit. Also make sure you get advice on your CV, and attend sessions and mock interviews. First impressions are important, and a simple mistake or poor presentation can make your CV end up in the reject pile. When you're new to the workforce, the best way to gain insider information about the job or industry is to talk to those who are already in the business. Try to keep your questions short and precise, as the more targeted the questions are, the more useful an answer you will get. Next, keep a record. Not all of us are blessed with a strong memory. Employers are always keen in knowing about the skills you have developed and how you use them. So it is useful to keep a record of your personal development, highlighting activities and job roles you have been involved in, and what you have gained from them. In this way, you will become more organized and will be able to reflect on work and accomplishments, document skill development, track goal setting and achievement, receive recognition, and gain satisfaction and motivation from observing progress and learning.
Professor, to keep a record of our achievements and highlights in jobs, we need to have one. A lot of us do internships during college. Do they count as work experience?
Gaining work experience as part of your degree really improves your employment opportunities. Whether it is a short internship, where you gain practical experience, or any kind of volunteering, where you invest your time to make a difference, you are bound to be one step ahead of others in the competition. Other than that, you gain the soft skills employers are looking for, and get a taste of the industry beforehand. Networking is also very important. It is not just about what you know, it is about who you know. An expansive network gives you an insight into trends as well as insider information on job openings. For instance, if you are searching for a new job, someone in your network might know about a job opening before it is posted or even knows the HR manager and can put in a good word for you. These days, social media is a great way to find others who share your interests. LinkedIn is one of the largest networks in the professional world where you can build relationships with professionals you have worked with in the past or make new connections. Every organization has its own approach to hire employees, so research the company and tailor your application accordingly. Research is a critical part of the interviewing process, as without it, you are left in the dark when interviewers start asking you about the company, what you think of the company's reputation and past, or about the role you are applying for. You have to give the best impression of your acumen and be a step ahead of your competition, not slow and uninformed. Top graduate recruiters such as McKinsey, PwC, Unilever, and DHL have early closing dates before Christmas, while smaller companies will want you to start work almost immediately after you finish your degree in the summer. Therefore, timing your applications and fitting them around your exams and coursework is also important. Motivation also plays an important role. It reflects something unique about you, and allows you to gain valued outcomes like enhanced well-being, improved performance, or a sense of purpose. It is a pathway to change our behavioral aspects, the way we think or feel. Learning about motivation will help you understand where it comes from, why it changes, and what aspects of it can and cannot be changed. Try to rank the factors that motivate your performance, whether it is status, salary, passion, or anything else. Figure out what persuades you most and then steer your job hunt in that direction. In the event that you are inspired by status or other financial structures, center around searching for a job that offers you the compensation and professional progression that you want. For example, deliberating between job offers that ranged from corporate communications to teaching, Julia was extremely frazzled and turned to Mr. Lee for assistance. Upon realizing that the job offers were from different industries and of differing pay grades, Mr. Lee encouraged Julia to list down her motivating factors, and instructed her to rank them accordingly. Once Julia discovered that passion was her strongest motivating factor, she was able to pick teaching without hesitation. Today, Julia is extremely motivated at work, and has no intention of leaving the education sector. Some companies actually put their applicants to the test by having them rank the aforementioned factors. Their applicants' input gives them a rough idea of whether the candidate would be suitable for a position in their company. In this sense, it is critical for you to be aware of your priorities so that you can assess the suitability of the job. Always be honest with yourself when asked to rank your motivators so that you can assess your suitability for the role. Ask yourself how willing you will be to sacrifice one for the other.
It is time for a short quiz. The questions for the final section are as follows.